Hello, folks. As you know, I've covered hundreds of state and national park missing person cases over the last several years, and it got me thinking, how many of these are still left unsolved? How many families have been given closure, and how many are still left without answers? Has any new information or updates have come forward since I initially covered them? Well, I decided to create a new series dedicated to revisiting these old cases to find out for myself. So we're going to go back in time, briefly touch on each one of these, and see if there's been any new updates. Now, this is something many of you have suggested as well, so I think it's high time we take a look back to see if anything has changed. I'll begin with Volume 2 and work my way to the present, and perhaps by revisiting these cases, we'll be able to have more answers and find new information that may help provide some closure for the friends and family that are still searching for their loved ones. So as many of you know, there were some issues with Volume 1 and I had to pull it, unfortunately. But in those early days, I just didn't know how it quite worked. So I'll begin with Volume 2 and we'll go from there. Now, if you have any information that might be helpful, or if I've overlooked something, do let us know in the comments below. We would all appreciate that. So let's begin. Number 10. Drake Kramer disappeared on February 1st, 2015, near Bright Angel Lodge on the south rim of Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. As of October 2022, Drake has been missing for over 7 years, and there have been no updates. Case status: still missing. Number 9. Geraldine Largay disappeared on July 22, 2013, during her hike on the Appalachian Trail in Maine. 2 years later, on October 14th of 2015, a forester from a private company began an inventory of trees on land used by the Navy. The worker then stumbled upon an abandoned campsite and sleeping bag containing human remains. Authorities would later determine the remains to be that of Geraldine, and a major clue to her disappearance would be found in a journal left inside the tent. The journal revealed that she had left the trail to relieve herself and became lost and disoriented, where she would survive nearly 3 weeks before succumbing to the elements. Case status: closed. Number 8. Deorr Kunz Jr. vanished on July 10, 2015, while visiting Timber Creek Campground in Idaho Falls with his family. There has been no sign of Deorr since that day, and nobody has been charged in connection to his disappearance. In January 2016, Mitchell was named a person of interest by former Lehigh County Sheriff Lynn Bowerman, but Mitchell was never arrested. As of October 2022, Deorr Kunz Jr. has been missing 7.5 years, and there have been no further updates. Case status: still missing. Number 7. Stacy Arras disappeared on July 17th of 1981 during a horseback riding trip inside Yosemite National Park in California. As of October 2022, Stacy has been missing for 41 years, and there have been absolutely no updates since I initially covered this case back in 2015. A lot of rumors have come forward since, but there have been no solid evidence pointing to her whereabouts. Case status: still missing. Number 6. Larry Jeffrey vanished in May of 1966 while visiting the Humboldt Tiobe National Forest near Mount Charleston in Nevada with his family. Even in the 56 years since his disappearance, no updates have come forward in the 6-year-old's disappearance. Case status: still missing. Number 5. Carl Landers disappeared on May 25th of 1999 during his climb to the summit of Mount Shasta in California. In the 23 years since his disappearance, there are no updates on this case. Case status: still missing. Number 4. Rosemary Kunz disappeared on August 18th of 2000 while hiking to Spirit Lake within the Marble Mountains Wilderness area of Klamath National Forest, California. Even after 22 years, there has been no news or updates following her disappearance. Case status: still missing. Number 3. Mike Herdman vanished on June 13th, 2014, while backpacking and camping in the Los Padres National Forest near Fillmore, California. He was last seen chasing after his dog before vanishing. 2 weeks later, on June 27th, his body was found at the bottom of a cliff by searchers. Mike appeared to have suffered a fall, and his death was ruled accidental. His dog Duke would eventually emerge from the woods dehydrated, but would survive the ordeal. Case status: closed. Number 2. Cheryl Brewer went missing on June 9th, 1988, while visiting the Whispering Pines area of the San Bernardino National Forest in California. In the 7 years since I covered Cheryl's disappearance, her case seems to have vanished from the public eye. This could mean one of two things. First, she was found and the case was quickly closed. 2. Her information may have been pulled at the request of family for privacy matters. This is rare, but it does occur. If you have any information on Cheryl's case, please share the links in the comments section below. Case status: unknown. Number 1. Chet Hansen disappeared on November 11th, 1997, while hiking the Deer Creek trailhead of Mount Rainier National Park in Washington State. In the 25 years since his disappearance, and the 7 years since my coverage of it, there has been no updates pertaining to his whereabouts. Case status: still missing. And there you have it, folks. From time to time, I will be putting out more updates like these. Again, if you have any missing information, news, or updates on any of these disappearances, go ahead and share it in the comments section below. We would all appreciate that. Thanks for joining me on this new series, and you'll hear from me soon.